This is a very important but triggering episode of Hill Jane Uninhibited. If topics such as suicide and sexual assault affect you in any way or trigger you, this is a warning to let you know, and also the following numbers from the National Suicide Prevention Hotline and RAIN.org can help you. Thank you.
Okay, it froze for if my photo.
Yeah, I had to fix the sound. I had the Bluetooth on.
Oh, okay. All right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I have my friend is over visiting me, keeping me company.
Good, good, good. So you're not alone.
No, very nervous, having second thoughts. But the time is right, I think.
We'll just go with it. Hey, this is Cyan and Hill Jane from Hill Jane Uninhibited, and we're just having a nice little special round tonight so that you can kind of get to know us a little better. I'm Cyan, and I've known Hillary Jane since
Woo!
1995
95,
in Greenville,
maybe
South
94.
Carolina. Yeah, because I had just I met you a little bit after I had gotten back from Woodstock, 94. He
Yes,
actually was a co-worker of my sister's. They worked at a telecommunications company at the time.
remember those?
Yes, and I was working in at a major hotel chain at the time. But would
I remember.
always come to Atlanta, and I would always see Hillary and Dita in Atlanta more than they, I knew that they lived in it, that they lived in Greenville. Then they lived near me, but I'd see them more weekends. We'd see each other weekends in Atlanta because of concerts and going to clubs and our favorite place, Backstreets. Then fast forward, 1999 or 98, I moved to Atlanta. I moved to Atlanta.
Me too. We all moved together. Basically, we pretty much all moved together
around the same time, and then so happened, I don't know how it was, we ended up living in the same apartment complex.
Isn't that crazy?
That was so weird. And then in 2000, well, early 2000, my sister decided she didn't like Atlanta and she wanted to she moved to New York City. So I, couldn't do the apartment alone, and it was
a very expensive place.
So I was looking for a place, and then lo and behold, Hill Jane and the crew had moved into the same apartment complex. I mean, and so that's how we all started living together.
And she was very much our mother. She was the only person who ever cooked. She cooked I think she cooked Thanksgiving dinner. Weekly she cooked a meatloaf. She took good care of us. We'd all go to her on Friday nights and borrow money, and it was a great time. And I remember
the house going. And I loved the Friday nights when everybody would come home from work and get all dressed up to go out for the weekend, because it was Friday night, then Saturday night, and then we chill out on Sunday to get ready for the upcoming work week. So that's how things sort of went. And and then sometimes we'd go out on, we have our different date nights with our select boyfriends and gentlemen callers and whatever.
Always had one. Always had a boyfriend. I don't recall ever not having a boyfriend in Atlanta.
No, you always did. I didn't. I just dated a lot.
But you know who was the one was Amir.
Yes, the tattoo.
And in some ways, still is the one that has my heart.
I hope is he still around? Does he still?
Listen, he is a huge, successful piercing and tattoo artist. Hugely successful, has his own business, does everything himself. I'm so proud of him. He has got, what's that called when all the piercings in the nose and the weird places?
Yeah, the septum and all of the.
So talented.
Now, is he still in Atlanta, or did he leave Atlanta?
I want to say he's in Minneapolis.
Oh, so he moved up back north that's where he's from, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And Dita went on
Marissa.
to do acting.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dita still in?
My best friend Marissa. My best friend
Dita
Marissa Thomas.
I call her Dita because that's what she was doing, a lot of Dita recreations at that time.
With you.
Yeah. Now, is Marissa still in South Carolina?
Hilton Head.
Oh, in Hilton.
I'm supposed to go there for Halloween.
Okay. Oh, so she's in Hilton Head, because I saw her her few minutes in Magic Mike XL.
Yes, I'm very proud of her. She almost became a member of SAG and or is about to. She went on to be a motion picture star, and I'm a talk show host.
Yeah. And I just went on to become a mother. When we all went our separate ways, because I did have a boyfriend at that time, and we started living together. And I had a baby who is now 20 years old.
Did she see your dad?
No, he stopped coming around. We stayed together till she was about 3, and then he would sporadically see her throughout the years. But I think he lives in Indiana.
Goodness.
Yeah, but she always kept a great relationship with her grandparents. So
Here we are.
Here we are, years later, because I hadn't seen you, oh my God, online till you told me you were living in North Carolina, because we got together about 2014, right, because you had told me that unfortunately your mom had passed away, and I remember your mom coming and spending a weekend with us, and I just loved her.
Remember, y'all kept her up that all night long that night?
Yes, just talking, and it was just wonderful.
What a truly wonderful woman.
Yes, she was. And then I lost my mother in 2016. So, but yeah, just wonderful, wonderful women. Because my mother
Definitely.
always asked me if you and I kept in touch. She always, she says, you're good. She always told me that I was really good about that, and I guess that I am, because here we are.
Yes, and Marissa and I, we were a handful. We really were, and admittedly, we were all caught up in our own lives and our world, and we were in our 20s. We were young, and we were fabulous, and the world revolved around us.
And the world was good. Everything was good. We were here in a really great city, just doing our thing, because the world is our oyster, and we took advantage of that big time.
And it was a different time. It was a more I'll say it was a more innocent time.
It was because it's not like now, the way that people are so jaded, and so nobody has any social skills anymore, and I miss that.
So, when I was in North Carolina, I stuck around North Carolina because about 2 weeks after my mom passed, I met the one, and would change my life forever.
Wow. So how did that happen, and how did it change your life?
Well, for the first time ever, even it was different than a mirror, because this was truly my soulmate. And I have to say, what I'm about to tell, this is my story, and I will be giving very limited information on his part in the story, because his part isn't my story to tell. So I met someone, and we were Bonnie and Clyde, and
Beyonce and Jay-Z.
we really lived and died for one another, and very problematic. a lot of substance abuse between the both of us, but I was more of an enabler. It made me very happy when he was loaded because he was very loving. He was on the down low, but everyone knew. And when it comes to myself, very rarely can I actually keep a secret about myself.
Yeah.
So he sold substances, and the police were always looking for him.
You mean he was a
This is
street
North Carolina.
pharmacist? Street
Yes,
pharmacist.
he was a street pharmacist. The police were always looking for him, and me being the good wife, the good girl that I am, not only kept him hidden, but I would kind of taunt the police when they would ask me. So the police really detested me. They detested me because I was an open transgendered woman, knew my rights. Can we search your car? Do you have a warrant? No. Then no, you cannot. I knew my rights, and I got very smart with them. It got to the point where I would sometimes be arrested for jaywalking. So one night, because I always drove,
Mm-hmm.
the police got behind us. They saw us together, and I believe my guy had a warrant out. So we got in a high-speed chase. I wouldn't pull over. If you know me, you know I don't take care of cars. Basically, what happened was ran out of gas, and that is how we basically got caught. Let me fix this because I'm getting ready to get really.
Now, were you on a highway or just like
A back
byway?
road.
A back road.
A back road that's during the day is very busy, but deserted at night.
Okay, so and not a lot of lights.
No. So ran out of gas. Police. I had beat the police, but they pulled up as we were still in the car. He got out and ran. Cop got out. I got out and was running. He threatened to tase me, and he did tase my guy with something.
Mm.
It didn't seem to take a big effect. I don't think I can do this.
Okay, well that's fine. Just
The police. No, I need to. The police really hated me. I was a smart ass, and he was a drug dealer. And oh my God, I was thrown into at some point. I was thrown into the ground, and the police yanked my hair, which was all real, out of my head. I remember him clicking something off. Now I can assume it was. I guess they have a video or something here or here. I remember him clicking something.
like a dash cam. Body cam.
I don't know about the dash. I don't recall the dash cam, but the one in North Carolina, they wore something on their uniforms.
Okay.
So my guy was handcuffed to wasn't even in the back of the car. He was handcuffed to something on the police car, my car. I don't remember. So the cop pulled my pants down, and I'm gonna teach this bitch what we do here. I remember that. He began to have his way with me.
Wow.
Throughout my relationship, I was always hearing, he's just using you. He doesn't care about you. And when you're on the down low, you kind of think that anyway. When he was on the down low,
Mm-hmm.
The cop was fat, Caucasian. Not that it would matter whether he was attractive or not. That wouldn't matter anyway. It wasn't the physical pain. It was the fact that I was looking over and he was crying.
Wow, because he was
Stop! Don't do that to her. Don't do that to her. Do it to me. Take it out on me.
Wow. So
after that, we were taken in. Here's the thing. This is what's so sick. In my darkest hour was the greatest thing that ever happened because he proved he loved me because he got essayed for me.
So what? So the cops say,
I'm experiencing the most traumatic thing that ever happened, but the love of my life just proved he loved me.
wow. Was it the same officer?
It was just one officer.
It was just that one that chased you and essayed
So
you.
when we're at some point when we're being held, taken in, I was about to say his name. He said, we were in the car together, this never happened, this never happened, this never happened. And I kept it as that, but you know me.
Yeah.
When I got into they kept us, they had me, I was in a pod by myself because I was transgender. I wasn't in the general population. I wasn't with the women, I wasn't with the men, I was in general population by myself. I was in a pod by myself.
They took you, they took you like to city jail or county jail or?
It was
it the police station?
I'm not, it was in Concord, North Carolina. I'm not gonna say the name. It was in Concord, North Carolina. It was county jail, county.
I thought they're supposed to immediately only take you to the police station to hold you. I didn't know that they had.
There is a police station. There is a police station in a side town, and I hardly ever see it open. They took us to county, and neither one of us were going to get bailed out. My sister and I were on the outs, and I didn't. Anyway, I was just trying to realize what had just happened, but I know that I didn't shower for about a week.
Wow.
At some point, I was out of the fog. And I told a nice corrections officer that I had been aid. I didn't say essayed, but I had been aid, and I needed to see a nurse.
Mm-hmm.
So the nurse came and basically said, well, I'll put in a request for you to go to the hospital or whatever, and nothing ever happened. And I served 2 months.
Wow. 2 months without any contact with your family or anything. It's like you just disappeared.
I contacted my family, but when my sister, on the rare occasion she would come visit me, we're being recorded, and I was just honoring what he said. It just never happened, and I got to quit, and I can no longer tell his part. This is just me now. At some point, maybe after I got out, I did tell my sister, and she didn't believe me.
So I'm sorry to hear that.
So we went to court at some point, and I did tell my lawyer, who was a young African-American, gorgeous lawyer who fought so hard for me. And he went to the DA and told the DA that I'm claiming this, and it was never brought up in court. And whenever he wasn't allowed to mention anything.
Wow.
And I didn't pursue the battle. Now, can I prove anything? No. I can prove that happened on that night in December 2015, 2016. There's a lovely mugshot of me online where I've got spots all over my face and my hair is thin, and you can definitely tell something had happened.
Mm-hmm.
My face is really puffy because I've been crying. So that was North Carolina. And a year later, things started happening in the adult entertainment industry. My boyfriend actually got sent to prison. And I was making bukus of money, taking good care of him. But I said, I got to save myself from this runaway train.
Mm-hmm.
Because everything was happening systematically. 2 car wrecks, various fights, this. We were going to get killed. The person, just a lot of inappropriate, horrible things. I had the opportunity to move to Perry Hall, Maryland, and I took it.
Yeah.
And I abandoned him. He was in prison. But again, at some point, I'm going to stress this to anyone that's listening, at some point you have to love yourself. It's great to have a soulmate. I'm looking at everyone. It's great to have a soulmate. It's great to have that person that you live and die for. But none of this would have happened to me if I wasn't trying to protect a certain someone. And let me just go on record and say, I still love this person.
Now, is this person still incarcerated?
No, he's actually, when I got married last year, we went to North Carolina on our honeymoon. And my homegirl picked us up from the train stations. We took the train because, it's kind of glamorous.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the train cross country, not cross country, but, and as soon as we got in the car, I said, well, she said, he's waiting. He wants to see you. No, nothing like that happened, but, it's still, I can't look at him and not see what happened to him.
Yeah.
So it destroyed our relationship, which was already destroyed anyway. I also want to say to anyone, this is why I'm doing this. A week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I received some oh my goodness, some of the people that are on here, some celebrities. Jesus. Hey everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Wow. There was a young trans girl who I didn't know hit me up saying that she was abandoned in a state. She was on a date and he dumped her out and just left her and she had nothing. And I felt really bad because this kind of thing, not only does it happen to women, but it really happens to trans women. And sometimes we think we deserve it. And
Nobody deserves that.
I'm here to tell anyone, any person who is different. I don't care if you're trans, if you're black, if you're white, if you're green, if you're Asian, if you're purple, if you've got moles in the middle of your forehead, if you're from Mars. You have a right to live your life the way you want to live, and you have a right to not have somebody put their hands on you, especially someone who's ugly and 500 pounds, and then does it to the love of your life.
And
I
it's
detest that
supposed to be in law enforcement, which they are supposed to serve and protect the community. It was not serving and was not protecting the community.
And I will go on record and say that North Carolina is a crooked state. I lived in North Carolina during that time when the Proposition 8 thing happening. I was waiting tables at that time. Imagine living me when that's going on. North Carolina was that state.
Sure
the holdout state.
I remember all of that.
But I'm telling this to people, I made a mistake. I didn't go public with it. I should have. And with my loud mouth, my obnoxiousness, my vanity, how dare he? If it was now, I'm saying the second it happened, I'd probably find a way to record it right then. If it happened now, you would not be able to stop. I mean, I'm such a different person. Don't ever let someone do something inappropriate to you. And I'm also going to say this, I am not a victim. I am not a victim. I was victimized.
You're a survivor.
But if this has happened to you, I'm a survivor. And let me tell you something. Let me just tell everyone right now, there is nothing that I haven't been through. There's nothing that I can't handle. Do you know why I get up every day and hold my head up high and I survive all these traumatic experiences? Because it's all excuse me, I'm sorry if I get demonetized. It's all I fucking know how to do. I had the best mother on earth, as she just said. Scarlett O'Hara was my mother. She was the 20th century, or the new Scarlett O'Hara. Just like her, looked like her, dainty and feminine, and worshiped the ground I walked on. I don't know why. Had this happened and she was alive,
that would not have stood. And if I had known then that was happening, that wouldn't have stood either. Because I would have gotten.
There are places you can call. There are places you can call. I've had some issues with suicide attempts. That's not the answer either, because you have a right to live. You have a right to live. You have a right to live your life the way you want, and you have a right to live and not be harassed. I was harassed in North Carolina by the police,
and that's not correct, because like I said, their job is to protect and serve the community, not abuse the community and the citizens that are in that community. So he violated his oath of office, first of all.
Yep.
And he also committed, a felony. Several felonies, actually. I can think of. I'm not a lawyer, but I've studied some things about law. And yeah, he committed several felonies, several civil abuses that he could be actually sued for.
So the question is, why not do something now? Well, I am. I'm doing this.
Yeah, this cathartic, letting it be out.
This is cathartic. There's a law higher than that of man, and this officer will be judged by that law. Because still to this day, it's not just my story.
No.
And I have to think of him. And all this time has passed. They would come for me so hard. My record, my foray into adult entertainment, my YouTube show. They would just bring all this stuff up. And I really don't want to go back to North Carolina. I went there on my honeymoon, and that was enough.
Yeah. And if you never see that state again, it'll be okay.
Never.
It won't be. Yeah.
And can I just say this? Please excuse me for what I'm about to say. If something treacherous happened, I'd be like, my goodness. In a weird way, that state, the people there made me the strong bitch that I am, I can withstand anything. And I really can.
That's how I feel about South Carolina. I rarely go there. I do have one sibling still lives in South Carolina, and in the 23 years that I've lived in Atlanta, I think I've gone to see her 3 times, and the last time was when my daughter graduated high school, and I had been, and before that had been like 10 years. And it's only a 3-hour drive, but I just can't stand that city and that state because a lot of stuff happened, that made me move to Atlanta that I can't. So I understand. I relate to how you feel about North Carolina because that state is the bane of my existence. And if I never see it the rest of my life, it's good.
My family, doesn't really have anything to do with me. What's left of my family, I have no reason to go there. I went there to try to, when I was married on my honeymoon, to try to mend things with my sister, and also because I was a success. Yeah. I was the most famous North American webcammer on Cam 4. Still am. When I choose to, go on that. But I went there as success, and I took my sister out. And, I bought her things. You want to go shopping? I said, yeah. I said, because she was always complaining. I always give you money. Do you need $1,000? I said on my honeymoon. I said, can I go write you a check for $1,000? Where are you getting all this money? I said, my job. You a hooker? No, darling, I'm not a hooker. I'm not an escort. I said, I'm a webcammer. What's that? I told her what it was. Oh, so you do porn? Which I have. I'm not gonna lie, I have. I'm not ashamed of it. A lot of it's been amateur. I've done 2 professional. It's not my, I like to co-star with who I want to co-star with.
Yeah.
And it's not something, I'm not ashamed of it, but I'm not really proud of it. I like YouTube. I like webcam.
That's just what's your job.
I own it. It is what it is. I have lived a life, and I'm continuing to live a life, And I have to say, a lot of people, why do you only go out with young guys? I don't just go out with young guys. That's all they ever ask me out.
Yeah, that I can sort of relate to that. But I don't know.
Well, I think we look significantly younger than we are.
Yeah, and also, that's genetics. That comes from my mother and my father.
My mother got more beautiful. She was always beautiful. My mother got more beautiful after she went through menopause.
My mother did too, and my mother always complained about her hair not turning gray because it barely did. She wanted gray hair. She would try to dye her hair gray, or she'd try to get like gray wigs, but she really didn't need them at all.
I want everyone to know why I wanted to come on here with Sharmah, because she is one person who You could be hanging from the ceiling with a nipple clamp and saying that you're praying to Jesus. And she would say, really, what's that like? She just has that. And she has that open-mindedness. And she knows me very well. She's known me a very long time. She knew Hillary when Hillary was Saffron Schenkenberg.
Yep.
And I just felt comfortable. I don't go around telling this story. But it's just, you know, in therapy, I was in therapy for, you know, several years here in Maryland. I would get really mad because the therapist would try to make me talk about it. And I would always say, that never happened. That never happened. I would bring it up and then to get off my chest, and I would say, it never happened. It never happened. Well, yes, it did. No, it didn't. It never happened. It doesn't exist. It's not. And just about 9 months ago, I just came to terms with it. This is something that happened to you. You're getting older. You might be able to, you know, sometimes we think we deserve these things, trans women, and we don't.
No, you don't at all.
I don't care if you're walking the street. I don't care if you're walking the street with a crack pipe. You don't deserve that.
Nobody deserves to do that, and not from somebody who's supposedly in quote unquote power, in a more powerful position. Like I said, that was an abuse of power, because that was a person in place that represented serving and protecting the community and the citizens in that community. Every single one of them, no matter white nor black or green or pale or trans or straight or whatever. And that person
recently,
committed a criminal
you know,
act, a high
yes.
crime, actually.
And recently, you know, Trisha Paytas has been caught lying about some essay that she experienced. And I made a video about it, and even now, I'm getting heated. I need to reel this in, because there's so much I could say to that crazy narcissist.
Yeah, I think I saw that. I was trying to unpack all of these videos that she had put out, because they would always be at the top of my stream when I would go on YouTube, and what that was about. So allegedly, this so-called abuser.
She got caught. She made up a lie. I think she about the person. At some point, she said on, you know, H2, whatever that show, Frenemies or whatever, who it was, which I can't believe. And his family's like, what? And she's been caught.
And apparently, I understand also that this person is not alive anymore to defend themselves.
No, and isn't that easy? Isn't that easy to do
That's
that?
convenient. Yeah, exactly.
So my message to Trisha Paytas is, get some help, because you need it.
Because to accuse someone of something of that serious in nature and not have, you know.
You should always believe the victim, but I'm going to say to Trisha Paytas, I don't believe anybody ever put their hand on you whatsoever.
Always believe, but if there's any inkling of any false pretense or any inkling of impropriety, that it's not true, yeah, you have to challenge that. You do.
This has been really cathartic. You know, I want to be, you know, I'm not a role model. My past is to be a role model. I own it. I own what happened to me. I own what happened to me. I can't speak for the other party. I own my part. I didn't deserve it. I don't care if I was in a high-speed chase. I don't care if we had...
No!
I don't care if we had pharmaceutical things on us. That wasn't deserved. But, you know, I have spent, ever since then, on and off my medication, various suicide attempts.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And when I'm not on, I'm on the same medication that Brittany is on, lithium.
Mm-hmm.
Her experience with that pharmaceutical is not my experience. You see how relaxed I am right now and how open I am? This is lithium. And I just took my shot earlier, my hormone shot, everyone. I just took my hormone shot earlier. So a little while earlier, I was getting sensitive and up in arms about everything, and took my pill. I'm good.
Good.
I was a little nervous before here, but thank you so much for
Thank you for no, thank you for opening up to me and, kind of letting me know, because I wish I had known then that that was happening. You know, because but we weren't in touch. We weren't in touch then.
I wish a lot of things, I wish it never happened.
I wish too, and I wish that I had known right then, because I would have, whatever help you needed, I was in a
And I wish
position
that
to
it didn't
help you.
take this traumatic experience to me really realize that someone loved me. And even to this day, my mom's no longer with us. I often say, there's one person I know who loves me. We just can't be together.
Yeah.
But thank you. I'm going to put some for anyone that's experienced anything similar to this, and for anyone who's had the, suicide ideation. I'm going to put the number for the National Suicide Hotline. You deserve to live. You have a
Yes.
right to live. You have a
Do
right
you
to
know
live
how
your
to
life
pin
the way
things to
you
the
live.
bottom of the screen?
Yeah, I'm going to after here. I just have to edit and stuff. But please stay tuned, everyone. And Sharmah, thank you so much.
You're
I'm fine,
welcome.
everyone. Don't feel
Love
sorry
you.
for me. The worst thing anyone can ever do is feel sorry for me. Because once you feel sorry for me, I feel sorry for you, because I'm nothing to feel sorry for. Look at me. I'm a star, baby. I love you.
Love you.
Thank you to everyone.
Thank you. And hugs. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Know your truth, everyone. Know your truth. And know your rights.
Yes.
I gotta go.